So I wanted to welcome Jill.
Wait. And everybody mute so that we can hear our presenter and we don't have to hear your dogs.
Okay. And we'll do questions and answers after for sure. And, if I don't know how Jill likes to do it, but if you have a question in the middle, you can raise your hand or get her attention somehow. Anyway, Jill Lublin is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She's the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed, Get Referrals, McGraw-Hill, and co-author of Guerrilla Publicity and Networking Magic. Her latest book, Profit of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and more visibility in the marketplace. She is the CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 25 years experience working with over 100,000 people, national and international media. Jill teaches a virtual publicity crash course and consults and speaks all over the world. She also helps authors to create book deals with major publishers and agents, as well as to obtain foreign rights deals. Visit publicitycrashcourse.com/free gift and jilllublin.com. And I'm sure she's going to post it up during her presentation, but you know what? I'm going to throw this on the chat right now just so everybody has it. There we go. And with that, I will let Jill and Mary Beth take it away. You guys can share the screens and I will be quiet. And thank you so much for coming.
Well, first of all, I'm delighted to be here with all of you and grateful for the opportunity to visit Florida without having to get on a plane. Isn't this awesome?
It's not as crazy as everybody thinks.
I love it. And I actually have spoken there many, many times. So I'm delighted to be here virtually with all of you. I also was taking notes. So I'm going to reference certain things as we go along, and definitely I'll open up for Q&A. Tends to be at the end, but if you've got questions, throw them in the chat. We'll make sure to get to them. No problem. You know, the thing that I heard as a recurring theme for all of you is really the opportunity to get your name out there, because what I love about publicity is it's an opportunity to create really a network that's much bigger than you are. In other words, it's an attraction factor that brings leads and prospects direct and back to you. I got a crying kitty, please bear with me. And my friend P.T. Barnum said it best. All right, so check this out. He said, a terrible thing happens without publicity. Nothing. So actually, I want to know from you, please, would you do me a favor? Type in the chat, what does publicity do for you? Go ahead and type it in the chat. Take a moment. Let me see it. What do you think publicity does for you? Thank you. Makes you relevant, Kibis. I hope I pronounced that right. And let's see what else. What else does publicity do for you? Creates awareness. Thank you, Mark. Absolutely. Elisa, yes. Lets people see who you are. Thank you. Yes, perfect. Opportunity, Eric. Yes, William. Creates potential for new customers. Excellent. Expands your message, Lorraine. Yes. Mitchell says, makes you get a lawyer. Not really. Not the way I'm going to do it with you. Absolutely. And what else does publicity do for you? Well, let me actually show you. Here's some things, and you all hit some really good targets, but let me show you some of the things that publicity does for you. So first of all, let's shake it up, because really what it's going to do is shake up your business. Can I see you shake it up, please? Let me see you shake it up. Yes, absolutely. Because publicity will shake up your business, and it will give you, in a good way, it'll give you more return on investment. It actually, I've seen client after client creates more sales, prospects, and trust is really important in today's marketplace. So the truth is, if they see something about one realtor or insurance person or a coach or a person talking about benefits, and you've got an article for your business, but not really for your business, it's for others, right? It's giving value and benefit for others. Then you've got that increased credibility, that visibility. It gets you more clients, it makes you more money, and it saves you money. How does publicity save you money? Because frankly, You're not spending it on advertising. Publicity is free and it gets you more exposure in the marketplace. And I only mean the good kind, because here's the deal. Write this down. Publicity equals influence equals impact, right? And that's what having good visibility is about, is it creates influence and impact, right? So with that, what I want you to do is plant your publicity garden. Start planting your publicity garden. And what do I mean by that? I mean, right now, some of you are perfect. I heard, listen, insurance, there's a lot of confusion about insurance. What should we have? What do we do? In COVID times, how do we buy a home? These are big questions. And I'm looking at my list as I'm talking to all of you. How do I, in COVID times, succeed financially? And so I've got some financial people in here. I've got people who coach on that, as well as actually have financial services, right? And how do you, well, fill in the blank for you for this moment, and then be thinking about what can you plant for visibility purposes for 3, 6, and 9 months from now, right? Because publicity is an ongoing visibility building connection and recurrence. And the thing about where publicity starts that really works well for you is to start with your message. It's all about your message. And in the word message, please type in the chat, what are the first 2 letters of the word message? Type it in the chat, please. Me, Kivas gets a virtual gold star for you. Exactly. And what are the last 4 letters of the word message? Last 4 letters, please. What is it?
Sage.
Exactly. Mitchell, woo! Mitchell gets a beautiful gold star too. Now, my friends, it's all about your message, right? And could you please point yourself right now, and I can see you, please point yourself and say this. We're going to take everybody off mute for just a second, and we're going to say, I am an expert. Can we all do that together? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am an expert. Yes. It's kind of like singing happy birthday on Zoom. Don't try it too often, okay? Unless you're totally production value created. Other than that, oh my God, the happy birthdays. But I had my virtual happy birthday party this year, and it was a lot of fun. The point about your message is that you have to create that visibility factor and solve other people's problems. Otherwise, your message becomes, what are the first 4 letters of message, please? First 4 letters, what are they?
Yes.
A mess, exactly. And we do not want any of you to be a mess. You're strong, fabulous business people who understand the value of showing up and creating that visibility factor, which you're doing right here, right now, right? So I'm going to ask you to identify this. What's the problem out there? I didn't say, what do you do? Now, I heard that in the intros, what do you do? And that's a beautiful thing. But what I want you to do in your message to prospects, to media, and creating more visibility, expanding your network, is solve people's problems. Okay, so how you do that is you change your language to you language, and you talk about you and your clients, and then you give solutions. I like 3. Give 3 solutions because it helps people understand. And here's the deal. Give them appetizers, not full meals, my friends. In other words, you want to give a lot of value and benefit, and you want to give real things that people can do, right? And so one of the things I would tell you to do to help you get more media, because here's the deal, some of you will more easily get into media than others. I'm just telling you, because I'm hearing from what you're working on. And by the way, I've worked with people in multiple industries, realtors, insurance, financial planners, real estate brokers, all kinds of benefit people, all kinds of people, coaches, particularly hitting a lot of people on your list, home contractors, real estate, interior designers, all kinds of industries. But here's the thing. It's about creating a message that matters, right? So as much as I'd love you to toot your own horn, that's a horn, that's a virtual horn. As much as I'd love you to toot your own horn, because you do need to do that, and publicity is and will generate return to you. It's really about solving the problems out in the marketplace, right? So point your neighbor and say, it's about you. Point your neighbor, please, and say, it's about you. It's about you. Absolutely. Thank you. And here's a super easy way you can actually create media. And a lot of people don't think about this. So you're at the front of the line here. And that is to create what I like to call your ooh, ah factor. Create your ooh, ah factor. I spelled it out on the PowerPoint just in case you can't. Highly technical PR term. Now, here's what I want you to get. I created a soundbite for you. A soundbite, which is just a simple way to remember how to use what I like to call everything you've got. What do I mean by that? Okay, so I'm going to show you some actual clients and case studies. Before I go there, I want to tell you about a man I worked with who owns an insurance company. And one of the things I had him do, he's 62. And I said, you know what? You're on your third career. We're going to do a story about how to switch careers. And, you know, in COVID times, this is a big thing now, right now. Right. And so what we had him do is switch his message. And that got him in. Can anyone guess what the largest national magazine in the United States is?
In
That serves people over 50. That's a hint.
AARP.
Exactly. You got it. He got in Modern Maturity as an insurance brokerage owner, talking about switching careers. It wasn't talking about the insurance. That, my friends, is use everything you've got. Show them the next slide, because I want to show you, for instance, this is an interior designer client. And, you know, we were talking about how to create a beautiful home and how to sell it well in the market, which then she partnered up with a real estate professional, right? And then COVID hit, and I said, stop the presses. We're going to talk about the fact that we all have to have multiple offices in our home now, right? Right. We're all got the dogs and the kids and the cats and everything else we're dealing with. We've got multiple school setups, perhaps. The kitchen becomes a major place, right? And switching her story to how to make your house work in COVID times actually got her ton of media, including in her daily paper, major radio stations, a number of podcasts and blogs, all talking about how to recreate a home so it works in the marketplace. Go ahead, the next slide. Because here's the thing. If you're in any of these areas, so I specifically identified some: health, mindset, transformation, weight loss, goals, activism of any kind, and that could be a using everything you've got. So one of my coaches, who's a Black woman, I said, with Black Lives Matter, let's talk about being a confident Black woman and communicating in today's times. And that was a different message than we first started with. Use everything you've got, my friends. My Hispanic clients go to Hispanic media. Christian clients go to Christian media. Jewish clients go to Jewish media, so on and so forth. Use all aspects of who you are. Right? Everybody wants to know about money. We've got a lot of money people here, a lot of people in the financial industry. Shift your message to what works. I had a gentleman in the commercial brokerage industry, and we did a piece about how to get a loan in troubled times. Not exactly what he did, but exactly what would bring people to him, because public relations is an attraction factor. Go like this, please. Go like this. Bring your hands to you. Exactly. Publicity is an attraction factor, bringing your prospects and clients right to you. Go ahead to the next slide, please, because what I want you to do is what I call visibility building activities, VBAs for short. And I've given you a whole bunch of free opportunities right here, which one is you're doing it right now. Congratulations. It's networking in your community. I want you also to follow reporters on social media. These are easy ways. Maybe they cover things like insurance, things like coaching, things like business building, right? Many of you are business building experts. You have different areas in which you build business. I want you to sign up for Google Alerts so that you will know when things come up for you. Like by doing that with my latest book, The Profit of Kindness, I found out that November 13th is World Kindness Day. And that had us create a kindness summit, which, God, we generated 120 people. Now I'm doing a year of kindness every single month to generate leads and create kindness for people, right? And so that all came because of Google Alerts. So sign up for Google Alerts. It's completely free, and that's an easy thing to do. And also go to nationaldaycalendar.com and see what holiday might be perfect for you. And if there isn't one, create one, right? So you can create one, and that's a beautiful thing. Then I want you to go to iTunes, excuse me, and see what opportunity there might be to put a main topic in or do something that connects into 4 different podcasts. Blog Talk Radio is a great resource where there are lots of people doing shows on multitudes of themes and subjects. But really today, I really want to expand your mind on the possibility that you deserve media. All right. And helperreporter.com is a really good place to go to also get free media leads quickly, simply, and easily. So I want to make sure you know about that resource too. Let's go ahead to the next slide. So here's the deal about getting yourself out there, because, you know, as much as I'd love to say, when Profit of Kindness came out, that's my 4th book, that I got a ton of media, including Fox News in Arizona, in Las Vegas, in, let's see, California, Sacramento, in Virginia, all kinds of places, right? It wasn't because I had a book out. It's not because you've got a particular business, and lots of my business owners don't have books, that it's really about their business and what they do and how they serve people. So the thing that I stepped back and I looked at was, wow, what's the message here? Now, you guys were talking in the beginning about what I now call the divided states of America, right? Some people say COVID, some people say no, some people wear masks, some people don't. The political climate has been tough, and we are and have been a divided states of America. That was something everybody agreed on. And that was the story that got me all this major media you're looking at. On the bottom of the slide is 1/3 of some of the media we've gotten. I've been in Inc. magazine and Forbes twice now on the business side of practicing kindness, right? And so here's what I want to tell you. And by the way, speaking of which, I found out from nationaldaycalendar.com that February 10th, I think it's the 10th, please forgive me if that's a little off, but coming right up is Random Acts of Kindness Week. And so we're generating publicity for that. And one of the things God planted a seed in my heart was to do what I call kindness circles. And that morphed into now my year of kindness. I'd love to invite you. Please come participate with me. We are doing a year of kindness every single month, connecting each other, generating leads and referrals, major thought leaders helping us to create more kindness, and really coming in and having circles of kindness so that in business, we're in practice in community with our kindness community. We're at about 100 people. So please look at coming in and joining us for our year of kindness. And how you do that is you go to jilllublin.com/year of kindness. All right, so check out the next slide, Mary Beth, would be great, because here's what we're looking at. And I wanted to share with you, when I wrote Guerrilla Publicity, we're on actually our 3rd edition of Guerrilla Publicity. We sold over 80,000 copies, which is exciting. And let me tell you that I interviewed places that you would want to be in, like Fast Company, like Wall Street Journal, like Entrepreneur Magazine. And I wanted to share with you, I talked at the beginning about planting your publicity garden, right? And so here's a great example. The June issue of Entrepreneur, their production is March. For the June issue of Entrepreneur, their writer's deadline is January, my friends. And so this is the thing I want you to be aware of, is that I believe that all of you have a message. I know that many of you could be getting media which will drive increased traffic to your websites, more consistent focus on what your offer is and your message. It'll get your prospects flowing and keep your pipelines full because it's generating that excitement, that connection, that familiarity. And you are all entrepreneurs, small business owners. Imagine this, you in any of these places like Entrepreneur and your local media. Because what I know is that consistently, from what I've seen, one financial planner, he got in one blog through using my system. And I am all about systems, by the way, publicity systems. And do you know he got a 35% increase in his webstat visits and 9 new clients as a financial planner, talking about and using something that he hadn't thought about using before in how to help people financially. So here's the thing about the media that you need to know. It's important that no matter what they ask you, you're just gonna say yes. You're gonna say, yes, I can talk about that. Yes, I can absolutely talk about that. Let me tell you a funny story. Talk about Super Bowl, right? Because it's coming right up. When the second edition of Guerrilla Publicity came out, the largest Catholic radio station reached out to me and they said, Jill, we want you to talk about Super Bowl advertising. All right, my friends, I got 3 problems with that. Number 1, I'm not Catholic. Number 2, I knew nothing about the Super Bowl. I didn't know who was even playing. And number 3, I'm not an expert in advertising. I'm an expert in publicity. However, I'm going to tell you, when the largest Catholic radio station said, Jill, can you talk about Super Bowl advertising? What's my answer? Yes. and then I started praying. I figured that would cover the Catholic part. And let me just tell you, it was a great interview. There were over 40,000 listeners to that. So you can imagine what it did to web stats, to increased visibility, to creating name recognition, because that's really the name of the publicity game. It's about creating that recognition in the marketplace and the yeses to you for your business and what you do. So I think that's really a key. I want you to really understand, and I hope that I've expanded the possibilities for you today in how to create more visibility and get more visibility in the marketplace right now. Okay, so I'd like to come back and take questions. Before I do, Lorraine mentioned to me to let you know how you could work with me. And listen, I am big on get it done publicity, easy ways for how to get your name out there. So I've created a publicity crash course. This is 1 day and it's virtual, where you will actually come into a small group and we craft your message, make it so that your documents are the right ones for the press. Like, no more wondering about it. We're going to actually get it done in the class. So this is a roll up our sleeves and get it done, no nonsense, tactical class, live, interactive with me, and all virtual. You don't have to go anywhere. So you're going to learn and implement my 30, 60, and 90-day systems, and we're going to write the documents together. And you're going to have templates that you can use forever on any project that you're ever working on. And here's the good news. I will tell you, because I've taught this class in Florida. In fact, I did not December, I think last February. And literally this course was over $1,000. And what I did during the pandemic was I completely reduced all my offerings. And so now it's only $197. All right. So that's a super offer for you. And how you do that is you register by going to publicitycrashcourse.com and you enter the promo code Stay Visible. It's all lowercase and all case sensitive when we posted it in the chat. And just pick a date that works for you. And if none of those work, I'm sure we'll have some others in April. But it'd be great for you to come in, get your name out there, and get your message out into the world in a way, because your message matters, my friends. We're also posting how to connect to me if you have other questions, and it'd be great to support you on your PR journey. Now, I would like to come back and answer questions that you might have. You can ask me anything that would be helpful for you, and hopefully I've got answers.
I thought that was really great, and I definitely want to join in the crash course.
Thank
and
you.
and so I'm definitely gonna
Thank
check
you.
that out, because I feel like that's something that we've kind of been neglecting.
Thank you.
So yeah, but I wanted to say it. I was really surprised to see you put out Google Alerts. You're the only other person I know that mentions that. And, you know, when I discovered it years ago, the first thing I did was set up alerts for all my important clients. Because when they're, you know, one of my clients happens to be Fran Tarkenton, NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So every time he did something newsworthy, I found out about it just in case I got on the phone with them. I had something to talk about, you know, and it's, you know, it's really good for just that reason alone. It's worth it. It's a free service from Google. But I'm definitely gonna, you know, I like the idea about following reporters on social as well. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And those are only some of them. Just wait till you hear more, Mark. You're going to love it.
Looking forward to it. I really
Well,
am.
your presentation was great, and I'm very curious that you're obviously very familiar with the networking gig, and so I'm curious, what do you think of us now that you've been here for an hour? How are we doing?
Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Actually, I think you're doing really well. I love how you have that informal piece, 15 minutes before, and there's just chit chat, which is great. And I think it's nice to, hear each other chit chat and see what's important to you. And then on the intros, I like that. I think they were good and focused. I like the fact that you're letting everyone put in the chat, because I've been watching too. Who are you? What are you up to? Right. And of course, it enables you to connect with each other, which is important.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
Well, I'm very interested in your books because I'm sure we have things to learn, even though we've been doing this for, like I said, a couple of years, but we kind of started on the fly and we've just been going ever since. So I'm curious to find out what your knowledge could do for us, and what we could do differently maybe, or things we could do in addition. And we always ask for everybody's input, and we try to incorporate that into what we're doing here, because we're free. And every now and then we've talked about becoming a pay club, and I'm always discouraged about that, because I think I don't want to get stuck with the same 10 or 20 people every week. It's like I like having new people come in and hearing news stories, and people come and go in a networking group. They just do. And I think that when you get locked in on a pay by annual payment, you feel more obligated, yes, but it also becomes kind of boring because it's always the same over and over. So this is a little thing between me and my husband that we have conversations about quite frequently.
I'm actually ready to put it to bed. Let's just keep this as a free group, because I like, we're not looking to make money off this, but it does take a bunch of our time. So we'll find some other ways to raise a little bit of funds through advertising and things like that. But just I think we'll make it official. We're going to stay as a free club. So the reason and what makes it a big question here is exclusivity and things like that. And I think I like having new and old people come and go when they want, because everybody's here because they want to be, not because they have to be.
And we rarely have people, even though we have people in the same industry, we rarely have people who do the same things, who specialize in the same things. And that's the one thing I've learned about this is an insurance agent is not just an insurance agent. There's all kinds of insurance people out there,
Well, this is the thing I really wanted to differentiate for each of you is the use everything you've got. And as I writing notes, there was lots of distinctions here. And the truth about us, meaning me, the civilians out there who don't understand what kind of insurance I should have or what kind of benefits I should have. And this is that I think would be a really interesting story. It's called The Maze of Confusion, right? And that's the headline. I like y'all to think and speak in headlines. It makes a huge difference. And coaching, that's different each coach, right? And that's different what the offers are. And that's about being successful in business. Most of you have some aspect, an opportunity for others to be successful in business. And so speak to that, right? Connect to that. I think that makes a huge difference for others and will really support you to get a message out to the world that does strike a chord and goes to the heart, the gut, and the mind about, yes, I've got to work with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think your message is really important. And I think more people should realize that, because even as you were talking, I'm realizing, oh wow, I never think of that. But it is important to kind of blow your own horn, I guess. Is that the right nice
Well,
way to say it, I
Absolutely.
suppose? Yeah.
it's called promoting your business. And
There you go.
and the truth is, if you don't do it, who's gonna?
Right.
Meaning people, might stumble upon you or you'll get a referral here and there. But the truth is, the truth is that we've got to drive people to your business. And advertising is expensive. Publicity is free.
Right.
Mhm.
Jill, can I raise my
Everybody's-
hand?
Yeah. I was
I'm
gonna say
sorry.
everyone's got a story. I'm sorry, Mitch. Go ahead.
That's okay. Jill, can you just speak to somebody who does so many varied things that when they talk about what it is they do, in somebody's mind who's listening, it's like a steel trap goes down because there's just so many things they cover. To be able to speak to the real targeted takeaway from that 30-second conversation that you had with somebody in the elevator.
So I would focus in on one problem because, listen, a lot of people are in multi revenue generating possibilities, right? Or businesses, and especially in these times. So what I like people to do is focus in on one thing. Focus in on one thing. Like what's the major thing that you help people with? And from there you say, like one thing that I like to say is, did you know that I also, that's a really good phrase. Did you know that I also help people get book deals? Right? And did you know that I also, which I have been doing for 18 years. And my main thing is publicity, right? So I keep the focus on how to generate more leads, referrals, connections through publicity. And, if you want to throw in the second one, I wouldn't do a third. It's too much for people. They already got so much in their brains these days. Let's keep people focused. And that's why I wanted, to use the everything you've got, because, hey, if you get in media because of whatever, right? I had a Pakistani man who got into Pakistani newsletter. I had an Asian American man who got into the Chinese Times. I've had African American clients who get into Black Enterprise, Jewish clients who get into their local Jewish papers, whatever, right? It's all good, my friends. It all counts and it all matters. And so this is the thing I really want y'all to hear, is that all media is good media and that it all counts and it all matters.
What practical advice would you give to somebody who has bad online reputation management and there's say things up there that are just quite frankly lies?
Yeah, that's a biggie. There are agencies who specialize in helping to get that stuff off. But yeah, that kind of sucks, right? Because unfortunately, everybody's got an opinion and sometimes they're just rude. So one thing is, there are ways to write to wherever and get it actually off. And there are also agencies now who help to get it off for you. And that's probably something to pay attention to, just because unfortunately, that's what happens out there. So I would pay attention to that. And then the other thing you can do is have other clients who love and adore you, tell them you need help, just be straight about it. And that's, good PR is just be straight, tell them you need some help and you'd love to have, they're very happy. You want some good reviews. Would they please post it on Google and Yelp and, all the other fun places that you might be talking about?
Guys, everybody feel free to unmute and jump in. I do actually have a question that you can answer, I'm sure. And it's really, how do you feel about doing traditional press releases? Is that still something worthwhile?
I think yes, Mark, because the truth is the media is looking at traditional press releases. But on the other hand, I've had many a client through using my guerrilla publicity system who just pick up the phone and call up your local ABC station. I have a woman who's a financial coach. She did this in Salt Lake City, Utah, and got on KSL, the large Utah ABC affiliate, on their TV station in the morning, talking about how good strategies this was for 2019, actually, to go into the new year for 2019, right? Now, raise your hand if you might have some good financial strategies that people can use right now. I bet some of you do, right? Or good
Well-
business strategies, yes, that some of you have. And you could be in multitudes of kinds of businesses.
Hey,
Right.
Jill, but you actually think calling the station is the way to go? That's interesting.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's the way to go. And here's what I'd have. Dan, it's good to see you again. Here's what I would have is a backup press release. Why? Because press releases are specific, focused information that identify the problem and solution, right? And actually create a simple way that lays out the story and it works. And those of you in my course, by the way, we have the templates, we're going through it. We're teaching you how to do it the right way. Because it should be a very simple document, like 4 paragraphs, that's it. Dan?
Hey, Jill, I have a comment on the negative reputation because I've dealt with it. Because in the dating business, we got maligned. And I've actually contacted, you'd be surprised, hosting companies and even domain name providers can be, especially hosting companies, are very careful if there's a complaint about one of the companies on their servers. They're called takedown provisions. I was a web manager. So if you see a terrorist group, they have to take it down. They don't have to, but they generally, when there's misinformation, they'll get a complaint from the hosting company and told, please remove it. It's not correct or inaccurate. If you're being maligned because you're really bad, I've had people ask me to help them who are bad. That's not their issue. But if it's really made up and wrong, I've gone as deep as I can to the hosting providers overseas. They don't want to deal with it. They just axe it when they get a complaint, a hosting company. That's just my opinion. They just take down procedure, we call it.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. And listen, it happens to the best of all of us. And
Somebody hated the speed dating company because we wouldn't let him in because he was drunk and he would torture the women and stuff like that. So we said, you can't come. And then he just went.
not good.
Well, I really do appreciate your time, Jill. I thought your presentation was excellent. We'd love to have you back. And I want to definitely meet with you next
Hey,
week.
before you go, I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Jill signed up to, and I'm signing my co-founder up for a discussion with you on the 22nd. Kindness. I practice Buddhism. I understand that kindness knows no shame. I've heard it said that be kind whenever possible. It's always possible. How did you, I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. It sounded like I was at a Buddhist meeting when you were speaking. How did you come up with that?
Well, and the Prophet of Kindness, you mean, or the Year of Kindness?
Just around the whole concept of kindness. We need a lot more of that. I mean,
Yes,
we need
do.
more Fred Rogers in this day and age.
Yes, we do. And
If
isn't
I
it interesting that he made such a comeback with all the films, don't you think?
I do.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any accident in that, right? And yes, it's a message we all needed to hear again. And here's the truth. It came from my volunteer work with an 85-year-old woman who's become a dear friend of mine, and taking care of her in the aging process, which I've done for many years now. And one day she made a comment to me about my kindness, and that became the Prophet of Kindness. And then I'm telling you, I got this, I call it God planted a seed in my heart for these kindness circles, which have been very well attended. And we made it into an official year of kindness, and leading up to another kindness summit in November for World Kindness Day. Why? Because we do need it now than ever. So what I've seen now is that we got 100 people in circles once a month practicing with each other and in their communities. So how wonderful is that, right?
Mm.
We keep
really
the
cool.
conversation going.
Mm.
Thank you.
That's really
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
Okay, folks. Well, listen, it's lunchtime. I wanted to say thank you. Jill, I definitely want to meet with you next week. I got a couple things I'd like to talk to, so I'll reach out. But I really do appreciate it. I hope you come back and join us, even if you want to just come hang out. We really love to have you.
Oh,
And,
thank
Me
you.
too. I really appreciate your insights and I really like listening to you talk. So it was very, very good. I'm sorry so many people had appointments at 1 o'clock. So, normally we don't have everybody fall off the truck, but I'm sitting here choking. So I'm just as bad as everyone else. But really, really great. Really appreciate you coming today.
It's my pleasure, everybody, and take good care.
Thank you
All right,
so
well, we
much.
appreciate it. Everybody have a great week. Next week is happy hour, Jill.
Now, next week
Come
is
join-
speed meeting. Next week
Oh,
is speed
speed
meeting, 10:45 Thursday. Go to Meetup, look on LinkedIn, and or go to our website.
But-
Okay,
And I was going to tell Jill, we have a really good happy hour event once a month. And
It's
we have
fun.
2 bartenders that volunteer and teach us how to make their favorite drink. And we just have a nice time. So it's a very kindness kind of event. And we don't get heavy into business, but it's, if you want to come, relax and have some fun with the group, we're here. So I'll put you on the mailing list and we'd love to see
Perfect.
you again.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great.
All right, and everybody else, we will see you next week. I'm looking
Thank you,
forward to-
everybody.
I'm looking
Thank you very
forward-
Great
much.
meeting.
Have a
Thanks.
great day.
Bye.
Great meeting. Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.